You're probably out shopping right now, whether it's at the stores or online or at home, and if you need some gadget advice for that special person in your life, well, we've got the scoop for you right here, right now on Digits.
This year, our team of Worth It reporters took a look at a bunch of consumer technology gadgets and determined that some were indeed worthy and others not so much.
Not so much. So we're going to give you our top 10 list of gadgets for 2010.
All right, to start, let's talk about smartphones.
They won't make you smarter, but they will make you, well, poorer.
Thanks, Simon. It seems when people think of smartphones, they mainly think of the BlackBerry and the iPhone. We took a look at two other smartphones this year that are definitely worth considering.
So number 10 on this year's list, the Wall Street Journal's Janelle Marte reviewed the Garmin phone, an all-in-one touchscreen Android smartphone and GPS device made by Garmin. She found it helped her navigate city streets and complete phone calls on the T-Mobile wireless network. At $199, it's priced the same price as most smartphones, and with all those navigation features, it was in fact worth it, not worthless.
And number 9 on this year's list of gadgets, the HTC Incredible, powered by Google's Android operating system and available on the Verizon wireless network. WSJ's Marissa Taylor liked the Incredible's zippy efficiency so much that later on, when she ditched her other smartphone, she ended up buying one of these for herself. This one also costs $199, or you can get it for a bit cheaper on Amazon.com.
Now, this year in consumer tech, location became a big theme. It seems like everyone was checking in and checking out other people's check-ins and check-outs through their mobile phones.
It's a lot of checking in. And one such mobile application is the location-based app Foursquare, which allows people to tell friends in their social networks when they've arrived at a venue like a restaurant or a concert hall.
Or on the set of Digits. The free app isn't entirely uncontested, with other services like Gowalla and now Facebook Places offering the exact same features.
But Foursquare has had a pretty big growth rate since it launched in 2009, with around 4 million people now competing for those crazy mayor badges. And for that, Foursquare is number 8 on our list.
Those crazy
Are you
mayor
the mayor
badges.
of Wall Street
I'm the
Journal?
mayor of nowhere, not even my own home. Lauren, it seems like cameras are always a hot holiday item. When are we getting to those?
Soon. You want to chat about Gmail Chat first?
Oh yeah. Gmail Chat. You may have heard that Gmail, that's Google's email service, you may have heard of Google Voice, a service that gives you a single phone number for all your phones and even transcribes your voicemail to text. Well, what if the two got married? You get internet calling through Gmail. It comes as number 7 on our list.
WSJ's Courtney Banks set out to determine if the new Gmail calling service was worth it. She logged into her Gmail account and began making phone calls from it to actual phones, with free outgoing calls to U.S. and Canadian numbers and 2 cents a minute to landlines in many other parts of the world. Courtney determined that Gmail calling service might be a good option for those people making long-distance holiday calls.
Like me. So, Lauren, is it time for cameras yet?
It's time for cameras. We're going to take you from analog here and work our way to digital. This year, Polaroid, remember those, partnered with Fujifilm to reintroduce the old Polaroid camera.
Wall Street Journal's Mary Poulin played with the Polaroid 300, which cost $90, and she said the camera took her back to simpler times when you could get it for $9 maybe. People didn't want necessarily to see the pause in every photo or post every single photo on Facebook.
You mean there was a time when people didn't post every photo on Facebook?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
She did note, though, especially for digital camera fans, that the Polaroid really acts best as a secondary camera in these modern times. But for bringing us back to our film flapping youth, the Polaroid gets number 6 on our list.
Now fast forward to digital cameras, and you can get one that even goes underwater. The Wall Street Journal's Willa Plank tested the Kodak PlaySport camera while on an exotic beach vacation. She found that toggling between the video and the still image functions on the camera was a hassle, but she was able to submerge it underwater completely, like those options, completely underwater, and the camera did its job for $150. Number 5 on our list, the Kodak PlaySport. It's definitely worth it, not worthless.
I took a vacation this year somehow as well and took with me the Sanyo VPC SH1, a dual camera with a fuller body than most digital cameras and a ton of bells and whistles. Now the $399 price point is a little bit steep for me, but it took great HD video and 10 megapixel still images that looked great as well.
Everything looks great, Lauren, when you're drinking wine in Italy. That's all I gotta say.
This is true, but the Sanyo VPC SH1 is number 4 on our list.
Next up, speaking of megapixels, Mary Poulin also tested an 18 megapixel Canon camera this year. She took it to I love this, a Halloween puppy parade.
That was
That's
cute.
sick. That's sick. It sounds sick to me.
The camera costs a whopping $900, but overall, the clarity and detail captured by the Canon T2i made everyday snapshots frameable art. So for that, this camera is our number 3 tech gadget of 2010.
Lauren, have you heard 3D is making a comeback? Perhaps, maybe. Have you heard
that?
that?
At least that's what some of the movie studios and sports networks have been saying.
Well, you can also get a 3D laptop now. Number 2 on our list is the Toshiba Satellite A665 3DV 3D laptop. That's a lot of letters, which went on sale this year for $1,600. Wall Street Journal's Willa Plank tested the laptop and loved playing 3D games on it. Well, it's good because it's a 3D laptop. Yeah. And watching 3D sporting events via the web.
Now, the Toshiba does require active shutter 3D glasses, which can be expensive. And as Willa noted, there isn't a ton of 3D content out there still.
But the Toshiba took your average laptop experience to a whole new dimension. And for that, the 3D laptop is our number 2 gadget of 2010.
All right, it's time for our number 1 gadget of 2010. Drum roll, please.
I think it's safe to say that 2010 was the year of, what was it again? Oh, the iPad. Now, you might know a few things about Apple's iPad already. It's got a 9.7-inch touchscreen, lots of apps, and while it doesn't work as a camera or a phone, it's good for reading your favorite publications or watching movies or watching your favorite show, like Digits, perhaps.
It is my favorite show. But what us Worth It girls did was review a few particular features of the iPad, like playing Scrabble on the iPad, which, by the way, uses the iPhone as the letter bank, pretty cool, making art with the Brushes app, and even using the iPad to access recipes while cooking in the kitchen. So we tried out a whole bunch of apps.
Of course, the iPad is certainly in the more expensive category of stocking stuffers.
Yes, this is true. And some competitors, like the Samsung Galaxy Tab, are only $400 in the US if you purchase it with a cellular data contract. In fact, one of our Worth It reviewers, Willa Plank, took a look at a $200 iPad competitor from Ogden, but she found it really wasn't up to snuff.
Not up to snuff. I guess the iPad is certainly magical, huh? On that note, we here at Digits hope you have a magical holiday season. I'm Simon Constable.
And I'm Lauren Good. Thanks for watching Digits.